Oh,
There you go.
my
There you go.
God.
Okay.
How much you making?
200K,
Nah.
300K,
Nah.
400K.
Nah.
She's a catch, but she does OnlyFans, making bank, just selling.
Oh,
Hold up.
Yep.
Things are you going to say that are so bad about your feet?
No.
I
But
got
men are doing
ugly
some
feet, so I would never be able to do it.
men
But
and women are doing some interesting thing looking at her feet. They're like, whoa, yeah, like that foot's a good foot. 500K.
For feet pics?
You're joking.
Just for feet pics?
For feet pics.
like, okay.
Cool, deeps.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, all right. Just feet though.
Yeah, just feet.
Just
Okay.
feet.
As soon as we go upper body, out.
Yeah.
See you
As
later.
soon as you get to the knees, we're done.
Our knees is where you draw the line.
Is she happy doing it?
Oh yeah, she's
Oh,
making
well then,
bank.
yeah, make
She
200K,
loves it.
no problem.
She loves the
Yeah,
job.
but we're
But you're
asking
saying
if
that's
you're
gonna change my
comfortable
life.
with-
No, it's not.
Okay,
'Cause-
well, I guess this is a freaking podcast segment. Let's freaking go. Well, I didn't want to talk about this. Well, now I've definitely have to.
Cameras work?
They're all recording.
This one's black screen.
Black screen, bro.
Is it actually? Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
oh yeah, we'll review it.
What's happening, guys, and welcome back to another fun episode on Living the Dream. In today's episode, we do a very interesting vulnerability piece where I share some unfortunate news. So if you're interested, keep watching for that. And we have an entire segment dedicated to dating, which is interesting, but specifically from the lens of professions. There are a lot of things that people do in their careers that sometimes their partners may or may not even approve of, whilst others perhaps would. If you guys could relate, you're probably interested and excited to watch this segment, so please keep watching.
Living the dream, boys. Living the dream.
How are we doing?
Good.
That was your line, see?
I was like, over to you, but then you asked, yeah.
How are you? Let's start with you, Kartik.
How am I? Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We want you to talk about your feelings.
Thoughts and feelings?
Not really, but yeah.
Thoughts and feelings, good. Busy. Came back from Canberra.
You know what I thought was really cool?
Oh, here
I
we
saw your Instagram story and you actually shot it with your meta glasses and you were driving.
Oh, yeah.
That was sick.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
you. Oh, did you like that?
Is that illegal?
That was
That's
sick.
legal. That's legal. I double checked.
Were you TikToking while you were driving? Oh my God, dude. What the hell is wrong with you?
It's a serious problem.
It's gotten worse.
Oh.
do you
Well,
mean it's
you do
gotten
it with
worse?
your glasses while you're watching?
It's gotten even worse.
Okay. What happened?
I wasn't even going to talk about it until literally 5 seconds ago.
Okay, go.
May have got a fine in the mail.
Oh,
There you go.
my
There you go.
God.
Okay. There you go.
And he's-
Well, now I've definitely have to stop.
Okay, so walk us through this.
Okay,
because
well, I guess this is a freaking podcast segment. Let's freaking go. I didn't want to talk about this.
for anyone that's missed the last episode, we basically said to Karthi, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to be watching TikTok while you're driving. And he said, no, it's fine because it's like, you just touching the controls in your actual car. Now we have an update.
Well, yeah, look, not proud about it, but again, just being...
So you woke up in the morning.
I woke up in the morning.
Then what
I woke
happened?
up in the morning exactly a week and a half ago.
Okay.
And, not a week and a half ago, from the last episode that we recorded, because I didn't have this story
I
until...
reckon the cops are listening.
Yep, 100%. And I'm going to use this platform for accountability purposes.
Okay,
Because
go.
I'm done of being an idiot, and it's time for me to learn. So
Okay.
I acknowledge I made a mistake. I made a boo-boo. So basically, my mom calls me, and she's like, hey. I was like, hey. She's like, so you know how like your letters come to my place? Because I don't really use the mailbox at my place, and I haven't to change all the stuff I've like across. I'm like, yeah. She goes, I'm sorry to say, but you've got a fine.
How
And
did she
I'm
know
like,
that?
Well, she would have opened.
She would have opened it because
Oh,
it says
right.
it says New South Wales Service, New South Wales, or something like that.
Got it.
And like, I also don't care that she opens an email because there's nothing sensitive anyways.
Yeah, sure.
It is what it is. She's like, you've gotten a fine. And my heart it automatically sinks because I have 5 demerit points left.
Oh,
Hold up.
Yep.
How many do you have in
13.
general? 13, and you're down to 5.
Correct. Yep.
You still have 13?
No, I don't think I have 13.
Mum's
I think
got,
I have like 10
Mum's
or
got
something.
12, so she's just lost 1. I don't know how that
Wow.
happens.
Okay, I'm
You've
still on
obviously,
13.
Yep, because you're
Yep.
probably the most responsible.
He
Yeah.
drives
You've got
once a
13?
year. Like,
Oh, yeah, she
what?
lost her license.
Why?
oh,
No, no. We're not
yeah.
engaging
No,
in
this
this
makes you
because
feel-
she doesn't have a mic. So when she engages, when she has a mic next week, or she's not here next week, the episode after that, we're getting her a mic. So until then,
Yeah, but this
No.
this is contextual to me because it makes me...
yeah, okay, anyway, so you're on 5.
So I'm on 5.
So now you're like, I don't know how many I've
This is so
lost.
embarrassing I'm admitting this, but mind you, so Mum's like, you've got a fine. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, it's not just an ordinary fine because you just switched over to a company registered account with Service New South Wales. So my car is actually based on a company car.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So she's like, your fine's about like $3,000.
Wait, what?
Yep. And I'm like, okay, this isn't unless you assign it. That's the next part. Thank you. I like how you know this.
Wait. So you get the fine.
I get the fine saying $3,000
Yeah.
and you need to assign it. So I'm like, first of all, I'm freaking out because that's obviously like it's a
It's
of
a big
money.
yeah.
So I was like, okay, sure, I'll assign it. That's no problem. The way the signing thing works is you sign it to someone and then you get that money back once you pay the $3,000, and then that person then gets the fine, which in this case would be $400. Right?
Oh, okay. So it's like the company pays it.
Yep.
But then they have to assign someone else, and then
They
you
get the
pay it.
reimbursement.
Yep.
And then it gets
So
reimbursed.
then my next question was, forward me the email or whatever it is, because it came letter as well as email. So mum's forwarded everything to me, and there's a link to go check what it is. And I'm like, okay, because I've done this in the past before where I was probably down, again, sorry to admit it, but I'm just being honest and I need to start being accountable here. I've assigned like my demerit points lost to mum, and mum's copped the hit because she's a much more responsible driver.
Well, you just said, how did she lose the 1 point? Well, I think I know how she lost the 1 point.
Well, but 1 point that I usually get 3 or 5, I don't get 1. So
Well, maybe it hasn't like gone back up yet.
I don't know. It's every 3 years it recumulates.
How honest
Okay.
do you want to be here?
Yeah, look, I need to start doing something about it because obviously it's a problem.
Okay.
Fucking hell. This is not a segment that I'd planned for, but anyways, nonetheless, we're going into it. So there's a link saying you've been caught for touching your phone, and I'm like, this isn't great, but we'll see what it is.
You weren't touching anything else when you were
just
touching your
the
phone, right?
Thank you.
Okay,
For
cool.
clarifying, just the phone.
Yeah, fair enough.
I remember the day it was because obviously it told me, and I remember where I was going as well. And I'll most likely, so for context, this is the absolute truth. Whenever I'm browsing TikTok on my phone, it's just staying in this cup holder. I'm not doing anything. The only time I actively touch my phone, and I know this to be true, Deeps is shaking his head. I know it's fine. It is what it is when I'm messaging someone. Right.
Oh, so you also message someone when you're driving?
Well, no. Well, in this moment, that's the only time I know I would have.
You know, you're one step away from just having a shower in your car as well while it's moving.
I'm basically going to get a caravan at this point.
It's like the episode from Seinfeld where Kramer starts cutting his vegetables in the shower.
Oh, yeah.
Because he loves
Yeah,
being
yeah.
in the shower.
So random. Anyways, so then I'm like, okay, I've got a chance. Potentially I can transfer it to mum because all I have is 5 demerit points left. And this fine is for 5 demerit points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, I've got a chance still. I can assign it to mum.
okay,
And mum,
so-
I know I have 5 demerit points left.
Yep.
And this fine came for 5 demerit points.
Did you see the video or the image
So
that
it's
they
an
sent
image.
you? Okay, it's an
And
image.
it's literally, I'm just going to use the
What was it, Living the
It's
Dream
literally
podcast?
this is literally it. Like this.
Oh
You
my
holding your
God.
phone?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
It's in my hand.
Is that okay?
And you can see my face. You can see me doing this. There's a phone clearly in my hand.
Oh, what the?
Well, I was messaging, I guess, at this
Oh,
point.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, obviously it didn't register.
So at least you didn't get done for the TikToking.
Correct. I got done for being on my phone messaging. Again, I'm not proud of this, and I'm using this platform as accountability
Okay.
because I need to start changing my habits.
Fair
and
enough.
obviously it's a problem because this is now the second time that this
Oh,
is.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, so this has
So
happened
you didn't learn the
before.
first time.
No, I didn't.
So you've...
5 demerit points is a lot, isn't it?
That's
I think
a lot.
so. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah,
And if you did this during a long weekend, it would be 10
I guess so.
double demerits.
Yeah. So now here's
Holy
what
shit.
happened. So I've paid the company fine and I've assigned it to myself. So I'm any day now waiting for that letter to come through.
Sorry,
Yes.
if you don't assign it to someone and you just pay the $3,000, what happens then?
No, you have to assign it to someone, I believe. Like someone has to cop the fine. Like there is no other way. You have to.
So
assign
it
to
says
someone.
you have to, as a company, pay this amount.
Yep. So pay the $3,000 and assign it to someone because it's just
Yeah, then who's going to cop it?
who's going
You
to
know
cop
what I
it? Yeah, someone has to cop it.
Okay.
So when I checked how many points I've got, it's 5 remaining. So when this comes through, it'll be down to 0. Now there's the dilemma that I'm facing. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
So we can use this platform to talk about it.
Get a yearly membership on the Metro.
Or, so it's 1 year good behavior, which you get 2 demerit points, and you drive basically as you should, like a normal person, not breaking any rules, no phones in hands, and you drive for a year, right?
Okay.
On that. Or you take a 3-month suspension. However, after the 3 months, you get your full 13 points back. Now, in these 3 months, I obviously have a lot of work. And
You're so silly, bro.
Trust me when I know. I've copped it from my family. I beat myself up about it. It was shit. I felt sad.
Notice how I'm not judging you.
Thank you.
See, I've matured as a person.
Because you're like, he needs to
He'll
learn.
tell you off camera.
You'd be like, bro, you're such a dickhead. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. So anyways, so I'm going to opt for the 1 year good behavior.
Okay.
And
Okay, so
then
let's say
if I and then what you're going to ask
Go.
me, if you get done during that period, then what happens?
Yeah.
Then you get a 6-month suspension with no good behavior. Yeah.
6 months. That's a long time.
So why don't you boys give me any sort of opinion or feedback as to what you think I should do?
apart from the obvious,
Which
you're
is-
an idiot.
Yeah, thank you.
3 months, like that's a dumb rule, honestly. So 3 months, you've been an idiot on the roads. 3 months, not going to drive, but then automatically get 13 points back.
Yeah,
That's so dumb.
It's a flawed system.
Like you should be able to earn it back, or you should be able to, like, over the period of the next 3 years, be able to get back to 13 points, not just automatically get 13 points. That's dumb. And in this case, if you're on good behavior for a year, you get your 13 points.
Correct.
What the hell?
So what would you much rather then?
I'd much rather that you lose your license for about 6 months. And then when you get your license back in 6 months' time, then you work your way up. So every 6 months that you don't do anything, you get like 3 points back.
Okay. Deeps, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the system is flawed. Like, for instance, if you didn't need to drive your car for work, you would just cop 3 months and you get 4 points back. You get a slap on the wrist, of course, with the dollar amount and all that sort of stuff. But it's a flawed system. Irrespective, you now have to be even more careful on the road.
Of course. Which, to be fair,
Because-
I should be driving like that normally, right? Like
Because
I should.
half a year of no driving.
So if you get caught again,
So okay, well I've tested this for a week because obviously it's been a week.
okay.
So my phone's been in this gap where it just charges and I don't touch it. Obviously,
Do you get like the...
yeah, I get the itch too. I'm like, I had a 3-hour Canberra gig. What do you think I was like feeling on that drive? I was like,
Why don't you listen to something?
now I've started listening to podcasts and getting back onto the content stuff without touching my phone. Just caveat. So
Because your phone, doesn't it do AirPlay because you're in a new car now?
Yeah,
so
it
don't
does.
you just touch the screen?
yeah, and that's what I'm doing now. So for the week that I've been doing, I'm at a red light. I'm like, can't touch it. So I've got to just, yep. And again, I know. You guys are giving me I know it's bad. And that's fine. I'm doing the right thing. I'm learning.
Yes.
I'm learning.
Yes.
So I'm learning.
It's good
Really
because you're
hope
only
you
like
are.
21 and like you've only been driving for a little while.
Yeah, correct.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Holy
So,
shit.
Yeah,
You've had a good week, huh?
that's been my update. I didn't plan on airing this out here. Now I aired it out here, but it's a good thing because now I can be accountable. And
sure.
I'll make sure in a year's time when
We'll have an update.
We'll have an update. Yep.
Or even earlier than that if you
In 6 months'
lose your
time,
license.
potentially, we don't
So
know.
let's just hypothetically go down the rabbit hole of you not having your license for say 3 months.
Okay.
How would you do your work?
Okay, so I've
You thought about this?
I thought about this. So obviously the days I'm at SP, Metro, that's fine.
Yeah.
So that's 2 days a week. That's okay
Yep.
on average. The days where I have a gig, if it's a gig that I'm sharing with a colleague of mine, Manav, shout out to him, then he sort of drives me around, which is easy.
Yep.
So that's okay. If it's my own gig, well, then there's literally one other option. It's
Uber.
just Uber. Yeah, it's just Uber. And I'll probably cop $200 for the day.
Interesting.
Okay. Or there's a third alternative. Take this guy around with you.
I can drive you around.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
he's gonna take
No,
time
he's been waiting for this moment.
Yeah. I love getting out of the house,
Yep.
taking you to gigs.
Thank you.
Sitting
Yeah.
there. He might
and
even,
then you wake up.
So yeah. Anyways,
Wow,
that's
okay.
my week.
You.
That's my highlight. Over to you, Deeps.
very good. Very, very good.
No,
We've-
no losses in demerit points.
No fines.
Well, I'm on the metro now full time. So
Which you love so much, don't you?
oh, it's great. I was saying this to Ravs. It's interesting because you walk in. The first week I went into a metro, right? I was kind of excited because I was like, I'm now walking to and fro, right? I sound so privileged at this point. Just for context,
Everyone's
guys,
judging you.
I live like 15, 20 minutes from the office, and so driving was obviously the priority for me. Anyway, so you walk in, you're a little bit excited. It's like first day of school, and you walk in and you just see everyone, and everyone's just on their phones, head down, depressed. Now, what I noticed was they would go in depressed in the mornings. I was like, okay, maybe because you're going to work, probably a place you don't like, whatever. But then on the way back, everyone's still depressed.
Okay, go on.
Well, when I say depressed, I just mean like there's just nothing. They're like the life's been sucked out of them. It's like they've been plugged into a system and they just do the same thing day in, day out. The fact that no one even looks up from their screen, and I actually did a bit of a social experiment. I got on, and I always stand. I don't sit down, right? I always stand. And for me, I'm either listening to something or I'm not listening to anything at all, and I take
Just
that
raw dogging
moment
it.
to just observe. There was at least 80 to 90% of people that I rode that metro from Macquarie Park to Crow's Nest with that didn't even look up once. Not even once. They looked up. Literally, they heard their stop, bang, off.
It's like a little system.
Yeah. So,
Maybe they're on TikTok trying to scroll through for content.
Well, you can do it on
Yeah.
the metro because you're not driving.
It's legal there. Very much acceptable.
Hey, that's an option for you.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love it. Yeah, sure.
but yeah, apart from that, we've soft launched something very, very exciting to our clients. Again, can't really speak too much on it, but
Fantastic.
I'm back in.
You've been teasing us for a while now.
I know I have.
When does
but
it go public? Like public?
Serena, I think we go public in a month, 1st of April.
So Serena
1st of
said,
April,
yeah,
we'll be hard launching, which will then be
On
readily
April Fool's
available, and
Day.
then I'll be able to speak a little bit more about it. But it's interesting because, I'm going through that experience myself that we went through during search, right? And it's like back into the tools. And it's kind of exciting because I'm getting a bit of a kick out of doing something, going back to the origins in a way. So my week's just been busy doing all that now. So I'm on the tools, I'm working. That's pretty much it.
Very nice.
Yourself?
Props.
Well, the little one's turned 5 weeks old
good.
now. 5 weeks
Cutie.
old, yeah, that's it.
Any new mannerisms? Any new things that?
A lot more eye contact.
Okay.
The smiles are a little bit more deliberate. So it used to be that he would just smile
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
Now it seems like, okay,
There's
if
a reaction
Sanjo
and-
comes
yeah.
in, there's a reaction.
He smiles at everyone, but gives him the dirties.
Oh, yeah. Like
Checks out. Checks
he
out.
just got so much beef with me. It's so funny. But it's also great because maybe actually it starts making sense now because I'm the burping guy. So like if someone feeds him, right, if it's my mom or if it's Sanjo's mom or Sanjo, like I then take him and then I burp him because I have a bit of a system and it works every time. But the thing is, like the others don't know how to do it. And so if they can't get it,
What's the technique? What do you do?
so, well, look, I'll put it in my book when I launch it. No. So the system's actually like, it's pretty, like, it's normal. So basically I feed him a particular way, right? And then when I have to, I have to burp him, I'll look at him and then I stand up and then I walk around. But you have to position him at the right place. Now, what's really interesting, anyways, it's not going to be relevant to you guys. I'll teach you guys when the time
there
is
could
right.
be dads listening, just in case.
Yeah, actually,
I'm sure they've figured it out. Anyways, what I wanted to say more importantly was that we've obviously got the mums involved helping us out in this process.
Right.
What's really interesting is how they have no memory of the first 2 months of a child. So if you think about your parents, right? If you go and ask them, how was I like a little kid? They will always reference things, but when you were like 2 or 3.
Question. Do you think it was because it was too difficult for them to remember at that time? Maybe it could be a first time parent. Then maybe
Yeah,
it was
of
a bit
course. But
traumatic.
if you think about, it's like 34 years ago. Well, it's like 34 years ago versus 32 years ago. All of a sudden, your only memory of us is after 2 years.
Question. Do you think it's possibly because most of the more memorable moments are at that age onwards?
I think it's something else. I think they weren't as hands-on relative to what you guys are. So when we were growing up, think about our grandmother. She spent more time looking after me.
That may have been in your case, not my case.
Mum
Mum was
looking
completely
after you?
off, yeah.
Okay.
So the dads, they were definitely not in the picture, right? So they will have no memory.
Anything
So
before
sad.
10, don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
they're like, I think you were like this. What do you mean? At what age? I don't know. 14? Bro, where was I the first 14 years? I don't know.
You were there. Yeah.
Whereas the mums, they obviously go through the whole thing. And what my belief is that obviously those first 6 weeks are difficult regardless. It's the hardest thing you're ever going to have to do. So in their mind, it's almost because there's a saying that, when a lady goes through, labor, as soon as you see your child, apparently you forget how much pain you were in. Okay? It's like a saying. And I think the same thing happens for when you've had a child and they've grown up. You just sort of forget what the first year at least looked like. Because we asked Mum this morning, And she's like, oh, there's so many characteristics that he's showing now that are like you, as in me. And we asked, we're like, at what age was he doing this stuff at? And she's like, oh, like at 2. And we're like, okay, so what was he like? Did he not make grunting noises? She goes, I cannot remember at all. Like, I don't remember, like, and I'm going through this for the first time and I'm saying, I never saw my kids do these things. So it's really weird, like, little situation playing out. Obviously, they didn't capture, videos and photos at that age. But, we're learning how everyone is so different in their approach. Like, me and Sanjo have a very calm approach to, putting a kid to sleep. I've seen memes now about it where you put your kid to sleep and it's just, you hold him. You don't need to rock him. Whereas, like, our parents, full-blown rocking and patting and this and that. And you're just like...
that's all they knew, right?
Exactly. That's what they did back then. But that's automatically what they do now. Obviously grateful that they can help, but it's so interesting seeing the different styles and you just sit there and observe and, like, obviously, like, you're going to sit there and be like, don't do it this way, do it this way, don't do it this way. It's like, you got to do your own thing. But it's just so interesting to observe.
I've heard from people in my life who are parents, fresh parents, and they get very protective on how they want others to baby their kid. So, like, obviously during the first few months or years, because you will naturally have this thing that you would like, oh, this is how we sort of do it. And so you're okay with someone doing it their way versus your way, depending on what, of course, the task is.
Look, at the end of the day, everyone's got the same intentions, good intentions. You want to end up getting to the end goal. So, yes, everyone's going to have a unique style. I don't think anyone wants to be told every 2 seconds, like, hey, you're taking care of my child, but do it this way. It's like, bro, you know what? It's your child. You take care of your child yourself.
I'd be very curious on kind of this tangent to see if your kid ever goes to, like, soccer classes on, like, a weekend and you see coach coaching your kid. I'd be very curious to see how you'd interact in that moment. Because I'd be like, I would imagine you would have something to say about someone's coaching style, right? It's soccer now, and it's not really parenting. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you'd probably prefer them to be direct or blunt, or maybe you want them to be more compassionate and the coach has a particular approach to this.
I've thought about like this scenario of, am I a control freak? Am I someone who's going to tell people how to be honest, no. Like, if they're going to get coached by their coach and their coach is shit, we'll go find another club. But that's their job. Like, they're going to be significantly better than me. And if I go to that person and say, you should do it this way, they'll be like, yeah, well, I'm the coach. Who the F are you? So I just think that it's going to be normal. The only thing that I'm a control freak about, and it's going to come up on the 11th of April, is when the little one's meeting the rest of the family, is that we're going to have some hardline rules around it. And I'm basically like bodyguarding the little kid. Because he's only going to be a few weeks old.
Well, why don't you just do one thing, which is you just leave him in the one spot, you guard over him, and people can come and say hi.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to sit there. You're like, yeah, come, just say hi. Don't touch his face. Don't kiss him. Yeah, you said hi. You want to take a photo? Take a photo. You can take a photo. You want to post it on Instagram? I don't care. Do that, but then F off. And if you're sick, well, first you got to come through me. And if you're sick, bro, I'm gonna have the temperature gun on, like COVID shit.
Right.
And then, oh, you're sick? Okay, well, F off.
That's fair. But you're being a protective parent.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah, of course.
I think I fail if I don't do that.
Look, I get it.
So that'll be interesting, 11th of April.
All right, keen.
Just, what you could do is just say, hey, guys, he's feeling a little bit irritable, or he's not feeling the best. Like, best not to hold him. Just say hi and then just let it be.
Be like, I had a chat with Ari. He told me he didn't want to be picked up. And yeah.
Especially by you and you. And you and you. Don't even look at him.
The rest of you just, you're right, but just from a distance. I'm very excited. Okay, so that was your highlights for the week.
Just learning and seeing how things change.
Brilliant. Moving on to the first segment.
The 30 minutes later.
Okay. Thought we'd put our expertise to use here as three curious men.
That's our expertise. Curious men.
All right. Reddit question. This is the main segment, the only segment, but there's a lot to dive into this one.
Yeah, all right. Let's go.
User wrote, I'm just wondering why being a mechanic is such a turnoff for women. Like, I meet some girl and we're having fun and getting along, and then I tell her I'm a mechanic and she just loses all interest. That's the question.
Interesting.
That's really just and this got a lot of heat on the internet. It obviously dived into a lot of things like, what roles are acceptable for people to potentially date if their partner had a particular role. There's a lot of questions I sort of typed up from this, and I'm just going to ask you. We can spitball it, get general ideas. Granted, we've all had some interesting jobs in our actual lives, which I thought was also perceived from different people at different times. And I'm sure that brought up some talking points. We do have a South Asian audience base of listeners as well who, have also stick to your stereotypical traditional jobs,
Doctors,
which are
lawyers,
doctors,
engineers.
engineers, lawyers, right?
Yep.
Which is valid. A lot of them got taught they had to be just one of these three things. And so steering away from that also brought its own challenges, and we all can relate to that at some point in our lives. Okay, so my first question to you boys, how much should a career choice matter when a person is dating?
It's an interesting thought and a thought experiment. I would say it matters as much as you want it to matter relative to who you're going on a date with. And what I mean by that is if you are conscious about what you do or insecure about what you do, that's going to come through in your interaction, right? So if you're comfortable and confident and happy with what you do and someone reacts negatively to it, that's probably not going to be the person you want to be moving forward with.
So let's take the instance of this mechanic.
Yep.
Right? Nothing about how much this person earns, but it's just this person's a mechanic. Also, we have zero context. Maybe the person, this woman that he was speaking of, maybe have like PTSD towards mechanics. No
Sure.
idea. We just got to take it at face value here.
Yep.
Do you think that this situation was wrong by any means?
Wrong from what? Like the fact that she reacted negatively?
Just the way this person explains it. Yeah.
I think it's coming from a place of insecurity because maybe that's how she's made him feel. And that's why it's been and that's why it's been perceived that way, or at least that's why he's expressing it in that way.
Rav, what are your thoughts?
I can see her perspective because if she's seeing him, oh, you're just a mechanic, oh, you're a dud. So in my head, it's how are you going to provide for us financially and like stability moving forward? That's, I think, where this is coming from. But if he's a mechanic, but he owns the whole shop and he's like, okay, I'm like the best mechanic in town, well, then that's a whole different story.
Which is unfortunate because we don't know any of this context, by the way. So we just have to take
But I can see both perspectives. Like maybe it's more like maybe he's a mechanic, but that's like he's making a shitload of money. Because like think about it, even when you think about trades, so I'm a plumber or I'm a bricklayer. Yeah, you know how much money they make? They make more money than most lawyers.
Or post AI age, these guys are going to be the ones.
They're the only
making
ones
it.
with a job.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Are there some professions that make people more or less attractive to a partner? So let's just take our context of South Asian men, right? I know, Robs, for a fact that when you were...
I'll tell the story. So
Well, then go for it.
where he's going at with this is when I first met Sanjo's parents, I was a DJ. And I remember speaking to Sanjo's parents, Sanjo, and I said, look, I'm obviously a full-time DJ, but I have a portfolio and this is what I do on the side. And, I'm actually quite successful. But from the outside, and I used to get told at like gigs as well that like, oh, you're a DJ, this, that, you're on nightclub events, but I was secure with what I was doing. I was happy doing what I was doing. And I also knew I was building my wealth in the background. But how do you explain that to the first time you're going to meet someone's parents? And so now that I become a parent, it's like if, Ari introduces me to his partner, or, I have a daughter in the future and she introduces me to her partner, how would I react? And to be honest, my questions are going to be the same thing, which is, okay, how stable is this career that this person is in? Because if this is like a part-time fun sort of gig, well, then it's like you're telling me that you're not ambitious. And I don't think I want to be with someone who's not ambitious. At least for me, same thing for Sanjo. And so when I got...
But that's also relative to age, right?
what do you mean?
So if you're like, say you have a daughter
Yep.
and she's got a boyfriend at 16
Yep.
or 18.
Developing apps for sure. That's the bare minimum. Well, that's the bare minimum, let's be real.
Okay.
But anyways, so when I was going to go meet Sanjo's parents, Vinny, her brother, was like, hey, look, like my parents are quite conservative. And I said, okay, they're going to want to know, like maybe you work at a bank or something, like have a proper job. So I started going for interviews to get a job just so I could go to them and say, hey, by the way, I'm a DJ on the side, but also I do this as my full-time gig. And then I went for a couple of these interviews and like, obviously my heart's not in it. So what's the point? And I literally, when I met them, I was like, yes, I'm a DJ. And they were like, what the F? You could sense the judging for sure.
They just looked at you and said,
They were just like, what? And then obviously Sanjo and Vinny had to do their thing afterwards and try and convince him that, hey, like he's got other shit. Like he's not just a DJ that he plays on the weekends and that's it. And he's a flop. He does other shit. So I think as a parent, I would have the same approach, but obviously a bit more open-minded because there's a bunch of stuff going on. But I know it can be hard.
Deeps, what has been your experience with this category? Have you had any situations where in your dating life you were not necessarily questioned, but felt at a point where you could tell there's a sense of judgment from not even necessarily your partner, could be your partner's parents, could be people within the community. Did you ever experience that?
No.
Okay.
I've been very fortunate where I haven't, but also that's more reflective of my career and my choices that I've made. I think there was even a stage when I had done my acting stint for a little while. And then the girl that I was with at the time was very happy. And that didn't have a negative effect to her parents. They saw me in the same light. So there was never really, I've never been in that situations, but I can feel for people that have, and it's sad, but it's also reflective of the choices that they're potentially making and then people that they're, ultimately interacting with.
Do you guys think that some men are insecure about how much money they make when they're in the early stages of dating?
I think so. I think so, especially now with the change in circumstances economically, changes in lifestyle and perception. I think that's always been a thing, like making the six figures, for instance, right? But I think it's become more apparent that those are some of the strict criteria that women look for, especially as they go through the process of vetting and finding someone.
Also, the big change now as well is that a lot more females work now versus say 30 years ago. And so I think why people are more like men are more insecure is because they're like, well, is my partner making more than me? Whereas before that wasn't a discussion. It was, I need to make enough for us. It's now I need to make more than my partner. And men are weird. I think females have the same thing, but obviously we're not female, so we don't know. But I imagine it's both ways.
Because I think this sort of dives into that traditional sort of scope, right? It's like, okay, well, typically many decades ago, you'd have your partners who were women who would just stay at home, wouldn't work. Men were the traditional breadwinners, and therefore, like, your role had to be substantial to be an income to provide for not only yourself, but for your family as well. Having that shift now, you're seeing a different paradigm, right? Where it's not necessarily always going to be the case. I actually had a story once. I was in London dating at the time, and I was swipey match with this person, and we never went on a date, so that just ended very quickly. However, on the interim, we were talking, and bit of banter was back and forth. That's fine. And there's two stories, so this is one of them. And then she said, "What do you do for a living, by the way?" Because I'd kept it off my profile, and I'm like, look, I'm in the creative field. I'm a wedding photographer. She says, "Oh, I'm gonna have to stop you. Sorry. Like, it's actually been very interesting, but like, we can't date." And I said, "That's fine, but I'm curious as to why." And she said, "Oh, well, two reasons. One, I'm just not into creative people. I'm not really a creative person." She has a very mundane Monday to Friday sort of desk job, and she's like, "That's me as a person." But then the second point was, I probably out earn you.
Wow.
And I had to look at that for a second and be like, this is really interesting, because now I'm even more curious. And I didn't want to go down the route of, well, how much money do you make? Because that just wasn't productive anyways. And I could see that this person and I probably just didn't have the same values. But it got me thinking, because it was like at a point where I had for the first time been rejected because of my job. And I hadn't experienced that. And as a wedding photographer, by the way, I thought that was a relatively okay profession as far as like acceptance goes, quote unquote. And I never really had that challenge from anyone. I remember, any thoughts on that story, first of all, before I carry on to the second one?
Well, yeah, I think the first excuse was like dog shit. Like, I'm not creative, you're creative, we're not going to get along.
We're not compatible, sure.
Yeah, I think it was just, hey, I don't know how stable your job is. Wow. I also don't know how stable you are.
Yeah,
if you're from Australia, you've come to London to shoot weddings, I need to be with a banker.
Like someone who does the same hours as me, and which is all valid, by the way. Like, I'm not denying any of that. And then the second story wasn't necessarily like a dating one, but I actually know it was. I was talking to someone, but she had raised this interesting point to me, sort of an off topic of careers, that she would never ever go out with someone if she realized that they didn't have a degree. So for this, yeah, for this person,
She's still single?
I have no idea. For this person, it was very important that the partner that she was seeking has a degree. Now, all three of us, granted, have a degree. And we've got a bachelor in something.
Yeah.
We've got a marketing degree. Deeps, you've got a finance and economics degree.
Yeah.
I can tell you, sure as shit right now, we probably don't use it day to day. It's not really a job that we sort of, no, it's not really relevant. But that came up in conversation. And when I asked why, like, what was the reason? She's like, oh, I just, it's really important to me. Okay, yeah, but why is it really important to you? Like, what is it about a degree? Is it a status thing? Which is what I was alluding to. She goes, oh, look, partially that you're an educated person, you are intelligent and smart. So therefore I'm like, does that mean that if you don't have a degree, you're not intelligent? Also, what is intelligence? It's such a nuanced conversation. And we never really, there was no date, nothing progressed forward, but it came up in a conversational point where these things are looked at by people. And
it's just two things, status and stability. That's it. They can call it whatever they like, but it's status and stability. And I think the other part to it is how they've been brought up. So their parents must have gone, you need to get with someone who makes good money, et cetera, but they're also closed off in their mind that there's other careers now that can actually make so much more money than the traditional world. The other thing that we grew up with was, get a banking job. It was the safest thing. Oh yeah, what happened in the GFC? You got
What's
theft.
happening now as well?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
valid, very valid. Funny you say that because now we're going to transition to a game. So as you know, I like my games. I call this segment "She's a Catch," but, and I call it Career Edition. Okay, so there's maybe we can introduce the other games in the other episodes. So there's 3 categories: Career Edition, then there's the Personality Edition, and then there's like the Physical Traits Edition. Okay, but I'm gonna go down the career tradition. Okay, so all you guys have to do, there's about, I think, 8 or 9 of these. You just have to explain whether you would consider this person to date, short to medium to long term, and potentially marry. All right, and going in
first.
Yeah, anyways. And going into like keeping in mind that this person is everything that you've looked for.
Okay, so they're perfect.
They're
in every
perfect
way.
almost every single way.
Yep.
Right? Attractive in every way. Whatever you guys want, that's them.
Okay.
Except for this one career thing.
Okay. So based on this career, they're either yes or no.
Well, yeah, you would then consider it to go, I can live with that, I can't live with that. All right?
Okay.
And it's all segmented around careers.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep.
Fantastic. Anyone listening to this at home, pause, ask your partner this question. If they have an interesting answer, then
Cause some real drama.
Yep,
cause
that's
some real
I
drama.
was
Let us
literally
know.
just thinking that.
I'm so excited. All right. She's a catch, but she's a volunteer worker and doesn't earn any money. Keep it simple.
Nah.
No? Deeps.
No.
Why?
Well, I believe that you should water your own grass first before you go and water someone else's. Without any context, I can tell you now, I make good money, but I haven't watered my grass enough to be at the point where I'm going to donate everything I make. So assuming that we're at the same point, we're not there yet.
I think just on that, it's like donating time and resources more so than anything else. But yeah, I think for me, it's really comes down to your willingness to do something for yourself before you help others. And I think people fall into this entrapment to believe that by doing certain things, they are making a real difference, but in most cases, they're not. Volunteering is a great thing to do maybe occasionally, but it's not something you should be doing full time if you know that you haven't really gotten to where you need to. And that generally means a misalignment with, say, my value system.
It's like right now, if I have an extra $100 that I can donate, well, cool. Instead of that, I'll just work extra hard for the next year and then I can donate $1,000. That to me makes a lot more sense than me just going, okay, I can donate a little bit now.
Okay. She's a catch, but she works night shifts as a doctor, Monday to Friday.
Wow, that went...
Sorry, I made eye contact with these as I said these
Yeah,
questions.
interesting. Why'd you make eye
I
contact with
just
this?
like to look at these.
Well, look,
sometimes.
for context, guys, I dated someone in that sort of capacity. It's hard. It's very, very hard. And this person was a lovely person, but it just didn't align with where I wanted to be, especially when it comes to like the stability in a relationship. You kind of almost have to pay second tier to the work. So work came first, I came second. That's how I always kind of felt in the larger scheme of things, where I was just meant to play support, which isn't something that comes naturally to me. It was a great learning curve, but No, I would not do that again.
Wrong.
Absolutely not. That is not happening.
Why?
Exactly that.
Oh, okay, cool. That reason. All right, valid. All right, interesting. Cool. Third one. She's a catch, but, and this sort of alludes back to what you were saying before, she works as a live stream gamer, earning 110K per annum, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
That's mad. I'm cool with that.
Just 9 to 5 though, right? We're not.
So, well, I put it in here for context. Yeah, just to give a bit of, look, she could probably do it on the weekends to earn more money, but that's probably involving in your times. But what are your thoughts, Robs?
I like it. Yeah. We actually have a nephew who, Aiden,
Oh, yep.
who actually was really good at gaming, but his father doesn't want him to game full time.
Oh.
And so we've been trying to convince him to go, hey, he can make a lot of money. And I know he's a finance bro. So like he would want his kid to make a lot of money, but he's very traditional in his way. So he's like, no, he's not going to be a full-time gamer. Like go do work, go do like, do your studies. And I just think that's changing. Like, people are going to become full-time streamers and full-time YouTubers.
Like I fully predict Aries could go to you and be like, Dad, like I'm really good at this very unorthodox like situation. I can game.
As long as he's happy and he makes enough so that he can pay for himself, cool. Let's do it.
Deeps. So your partner's basically a gamer girl. She's got the Pikachu hat.
Well, let's
She's
be.
got the full room dedicated
Pikachu,
to.
hey, you didn't mention that, wifey.
Say she's got a full LED like gaming room set up. She's like got the thing, the headset, the piece. She's got some anime costume on every single time. I don't know, it makes her feel like very a gamer girl.
Well, we spend 80% of our waking day looking at screens. So how is that any different from
a valid
her
point.
streaming
It's a valid point.
and playing games? Like I think it's just fine. It's no problems.
Okay. All right.
You do you, boo.
You
What about
boo,
you?
boo.
Would you have a problem?
A gamer. No, well, I like games. So I would be like, hey, what game would
Yeah, but she would smash you in games.
I'll be like, it's on.
No, but she's professional. You're not.
Yeah, but then I'd be competitive. So I'd be like, I'd lose. I'd acknowledge that,
Yeah.
but I'd be excited to lose. I'd be like, you're really good at this. That's awesome. Anyways, but to answer your question, yes. I would. Okay, fourth one. She's a catch, but she's a full-time lingerie model.
She's a catch, but she's a full-time lingerie model.
I would say no, purely because I know that the amount of comments, attraction, in terms of the attention she would get, I would not be comfortable with.
I would say I'd be fine with it.
Okay. Why?
I think that derived sense of what you're saying, to like that validation, whether it be positive or negative, is external. For me, what matters most would be whether or not her and I are compatible and connect on.
She's a catch, right? So
So if there is a level of if there's complete transparency on how her and I think about it, you need to then be comfortable with the idea of not letting those things affect you.
Say you're at Westfields and say you're with your boys.
Yep.
Right? And say you're at a cafe grabbing coffee. There's about 10 of you guys.
Yep.
And to the right of you, 10 meters down, you see a Zara poster of your partner. And she's in lingerie. And say, I don't know, Zara do lingerie. But she's right there up on the wall, 10 meters away from your boys. And you've all acknowledged it. And she looks great. She looks amazing. Comfortable with the situation. Is what it is.
It's just a profession, man. Like, think about actors. They have to
Do all these interesting scenes
all
the time.
those things, but it's the way it's taken or perception of it. And if you're more concerned about whether your friends have to think they're either not the right type of people to be around or you're too insecure in yourself to be.
I like that.
My perspective is, being on social media, I get comments as a finance guy talking about property,
The way you look.
about how I look, about how I talk, about the stuff I say. So if I get that, and I know like I'm pretty bulletproof because I've got a good circle around me, but it will get me at some point.
Yeah.
If that's on that front, bro, I'm telling you now, she's gonna be a mess doing that sort of stuff and get comments like that.
Yeah, wow. That's valid. She's a catch. She's a successful DJ and works weekends in the night.
Hoodle slad. Nah, probably not. Probably not. Only because like I'm at a different phase of life now.
Right.
So I need the weekends with person.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay. She's a catch, but she does OnlyFans making bank. However, just selling feet pics.
Oh, that's hectic.
How much are you making?
200K,
Nah,
300K,
nah,
400K,
nah.
For feet pics.
You're joking.
Just for feet pics.
For feet pics.
Like, is she happy doing it?
Oh yeah, she's
Oh,
making
well then,
bank.
yeah, make
She
200K,
loves it.
no problem.
She loves the
Yeah,
job.
but we're
But you're
asking
saying
if
that's
you're
gonna change my
comfortable
life.
with-
No, it's not.
Okay, it won't change your life, but I'm saying, say this is what this person loves to do. She's a catch in every other way to you, right? Everything you've desired is in this person.
I think that's fine. Because
Okay.
it's feet. Like,
Yeah,
well,
just feet.
how many things are you going to say that are so bad about your feet?
No.
But
But
I
men
got
are doing
ugly
some
feet, so I would never be able to do it.
men
But
and women are doing some interesting thing looking at her feet. They're like, whoa, yeah, like that foot's a good foot.
okay.
Cool, Deeps.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, all right. Just feet though.
Yeah, just feet.
Just
Okay.
feet.
As soon as we go upper body, out.
Yeah.
See you
As soon
later.
as you get to the knees, we're done.
Oh, knees is the way you draw the line. All right. Second last one. She's a full-time influencer, which means your personal lives will be on public display 24/7.
I know that Sandra had a go at this, and I've also tried to do vlogging myself. I don't mind if our life is public, but it is very hard work. So what I mean by that is to get the perfect shot, to get the vlog, and like you're never in the moment. You're always capturing it. So that's the reason why I stopped the whole vlogging thing was because I felt like, yes, I get to capture this and I get to think back, and I'm glad I did
But
those.
you're always...
But it's always like, oh, like I better have my camera out versus I just want to experience this. I just want to be here.
I've never thought about it from that perspective before. Yeah, it's very interesting because it's a trade-off, right? You've got to pay your time, your
Yep.
presence to create a memory that
Yeah.
only you can look back at and later on or other people can look back
Well, I
at.
see it with the little one. Like I see him and then I'm like, oh my God, this is the best moment. I also want to capture it because I want to remember this moment. But then if I'm doing that, I'm not really here.
And this is why people invest in the Ray-Bans Meta because it's
Here we go.
Yeah.
Are we getting a sponsorship? Are we?
look, I should, but it's I've heard this from another dad. They're like, yeah, I'm actually going to get the Ray-Bans Meta because that hand with the phone distracts the kid first of all, so the kid's now looking at the phone. Also teaches them what a phone is at a young age, which they probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's the presence conversation, which you just raised. It's like, how much am I here versus here?
Yeah.
And the metas are like 3 minutes recording time. It's very subtle, and you're not doing anything other than just looking at your kid. That's
Yeah.
nice.
And so what's your affiliate code for that one?
It's Sharma20. Yeah.
Sharma 20.
Anyways. Deeps. So
Well, for
she's
me,
a catch, but yeah, influencer.
yeah, I would say no. And again, to the point that you've just made is I kind of blew up on social media about 1.5 years ago. And that kind of forced me to go into more sort of lifestyle stuff and capturing my days, day in the life and all that sort of stuff. Firstly, I've never, and you know this, I've never really enjoyed that stuff. Like I actually try to be in the moment as much as I can. So you'll find that I don't take many photos, and I've had problems in the past where my respective other half has gone, why don't you take photos of me and stuff like that, right? It's because I'm so like consumed in that moment and being present with you that it's not a thought that comes into my mind. It's like I'm not being intentional about it. But having gone through this process and doing it for myself, I realized that I was like, I'm actually disconnecting with who I am as a person. And if I feel that and felt that, I could only imagine what people would feel. And I'm also not very comfortable with going, hey, can you take a photo of me? Like doing this or doing, like I hate it. Like I find it very uncomfortable. So yeah, I would not want that in a partner.
Fair enough. What about you? You're a photographer.
Well, I was just about to say, like, my entire life are cameras. I don't want to have one in my personal life.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
fair.
Like, I think to have that come at home, that's a no. I'm also like a relatively private person. I don't like all that stuff publicly. Also, I don't like taking photos. To Deeps' point, it's like it's not really me. I'm sure that it'd be bank and they'd earn amazing money, but I just don't think that lifestyle's personally for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair.
And the last one, which is an interesting one. She does, so she's a catch, but she does the exact same job as you, the exact same role, but for a competitor company.
Oh,
So-
for a competitor company
So either she's building her own
thing.
TBC, or she's got her own buyers agency at the number, and basically exactly what you've created at Search, exactly what you boys do. That's what she does.
that'd be pretty hectic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because then what? She's running the number one competing buyers agency to me. At some point, we're basically operating we eat up the whole market. That's fantastic. She does YouTube, I do YouTube.
I
That's
never thought
mad.
about it that way, but okay, go on. Deeps.
No.
Why? This is very, very interesting. I thought one of the two of you would disagree, but okay,
Yeah,
go on.
no, and I think it's more about complementary sort of personality, skill type, and the person in general that I would want. I don't think I could be with me.
That's interesting. Because I think about this to what you said. Like, if your entire life is one thing, to then have your partner do the same thing, I don't know if there'd be much difference to talk about.
I
Just
would-
generally.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
I'm someone that needs diversity, and I always think about this. It's like, could I date myself? No, I couldn't date myself.
I'd love to date myself. That's why I got Sanjay.
I mean,
Shoot the female version.
This is why he
That's a
said yes and I
compliment
said no.
Yeah, I can see this checks out based on your personality types.
What about you?
I could not date a wedding photographer because that's all our conversations would ever just be. Mind
Like,
you,
get a real job.
how much money you make? I think it'd be to Deep's point. I love what you said. It's like I would love
What if she was a videographer and you were a photographer?
if it's the same industry, it's the same thing, right? Like it could be unless it's corporate or you do brands, then sure.
it's
But if it's weddings full time, then I'd feel like all our lives would revolve around other people's weddings, and
And then you both would be spending your weekend shooting stuff too.
Yeah, I mean that might not be bad because daytime you probably chill together too. Assuming I'd
Well, editing.
she'd just
And
sit
if,
down
say,
with
someone's
me.
lost their license, then they'd have to spend more time traveling.
Then she could drive me.
Then she, actually, yeah.
You'd be at
go
the
on some
same gigs.
Yeah,
then I
true,
could take a
true,
shoot for
true.
actually. Interesting thoughts. But what do you think of that game? That segment?
I
liked it.
So what
Yeah.
are we going to do? Personality next week?
So yeah, we could do personality. I've got a lot to churn through.
Yeah,
which
let's
is
do
heaps.
personality
alright,
next
let's do
week.
personality
Fantastic.
next
So
week.
anyone who was listening to that segment, I hope you enjoyed that. That was good. I do have an Am I the Arsehole? It's up to you if you guys want to hear it now or next week. It's up to you.
Let's do it next week.
Next week.
All
Let's do
right.
it next week.
Done. Any closing statements? Any closing remarks?
No,
comments?
just subscribe and continue
Just
following
like
the
us.
journey.
Listen to us.
Yeah.
LTD.
What's LTD?
Living the dream.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude,
Nice.
are you guys
Sorry.
serious?
Sorry. Yeah. LTD. LTD boys. No, that doesn't. Anyways, good chat. Bye.